Welcome to the AI Show. I'm Scott. Hey, listen, AI news moves fast, and we're all experiencing that right now. It's drastically reshaping the world. We get it. It's confusing. But I'm here to separate the signal from the noise, talk about where AI technology is going and bringing value, whether it's just like smoke and mirrors or a pump and dump. Today, we're going to look at the headlines and see if we can make sense of them and what bigger trends might be behind them. First up, let's talk about ClaudeBot. Let's get into it. I have a couple articles here. ClaudeBot showed me what the future of personal AI assistants looks like. This is a headline. ClaudeBot meme coin surges as top holder sees 300x gains. A pump and dump scheme that wasn't done by the people who created ClaudeBot. There's just a lot of talk of ClaudeBot right now. So we got a video here to watch. It's Jason Calacanis from This Week in Startups. Let's see what he has to say.
To twist, it's Monday. It is January 26th. I'm back from Davos and Tokyo. I'm finally home. And just as I get home through this ice storm, Alex, I see on my phone all over the weekend, ClaudeBot. And this is after a week ago, Claude Cowork going crazy at Davos. All the tech folks were talking about Cowork. I was playing with Cowork, very impressive. Then I see ClaudeBot going crazy this weekend. Something's happening with ClaudeBot, and Cowork, which is leading to everybody on X buying Mac Minis. Now, I've been a fan of the Mac Mini for a long time. I think it's the best bang for the buck. I got one over here on my two different desks. They're fantastic. Pair them with the Dell monitor, but apparently these are being used to run something called ClaudeBot. And we're going to get into that today because people have been quad-shotted. Like one-shotted?
Yeah. He talks about cloud shotting or like saying to your ClaudeBot or Cowork or something like, here, go do this task and then just bring it back to me, and that's what he's talking about. But a few different terms in there to talk about. Claude, Cowork. So Claude is Anthropic's chatbot. It's their model, and then you obviously interface with it like ChatGPT. Claude Cowork is a different way to use it, so it's more of an agent that can do work for you. And then ClaudeBot is something that came out around the same time as Claude Cowork, but ClaudeBot is spelled differently. It's CLAWD bot, and it's open source. Anybody can use it, and you can install it on any machine. And so this is Jason saying, like he's mentioning the Mac Minis. You can go out and buy Mac Minis. You can buy Mac Studios. You could have a laptop, etc. And you can install ClaudeBot on it. Now, again, it's not affiliated with Anthropic, but you typically would use like the Claude model from Anthropic or from OpenAI or something like that in order to power ClaudeBot. Let's see what else. Got another video here. Let's see what Nick has to say about it. It's not all roses and sunshine here.
So, with everybody and their mom talking about this giant red lobster, I thought that I'd give it a whirl and see for myself.
Oh, I'll talk about the red lobster here. Claude, it's the claws. Claude. Okay, so this is the red lobster. But by the way, they've already changed the name because they got some kind of warning from Anthropic, but let's see.
Supposedly the most powerful AI tool anybody has ever seen in their lives. And I really gave it a try. I mean, I went through all of the shoutouts on the Claude.bot website. I read through all of the blog posts and articles talking about how fantastic it was. They even explained it to me in plain English, apparently, which is that ClaudeBot is Claude with hands, which is, the same thing that they said that Claude Code was a month ago. And what I've unfortunately come to the conclusion of is that ClaudeBot sucks, actually, and here's why. First, what is ClaudeBot actually? Well, as far as I could tell, it is Opus 4.5, which is Anthropic's bleeding edge model, the one that runs Claude Code for the most part, and the one that everybody's been talking about for the better part of the last 3 months, wrapped around Telegram, which is a messaging platform, which essentially allows you to send and receive SMS messages from and to a bot that you set up in the cloud without having to pass through an interface like VS Code or whatever. Plus, plus cron. For those of you that don't know, cron is basically just a way to schedule messages so that instead of you always having to initiate a conversation with, let's say, Claude Code, ClaudeBot can send you a message.
So you can hear a totally different tone here. We got one advocate for ClaudeBot. We've got actually ClaudeBot sucks from Nick here. Nick goes through some of the security vulnerabilities. He goes through how a lot of times it doesn't achieve what you actually would want it to achieve. And Jason Calacanis and other folks on his show, I'll link the video. Go check it out if you want to see what other folks are doing with ClaudeBot. But they have some normal use cases. They have some more power user use cases that they go through, and they're talking about how it helped them out. But hey, everybody's talking about ClaudeBot. It's gone viral, but why? Is it just a fad, or does it get at something actually deeper? We're going to talk about that. So just to summarize real quickly again, ClaudeBot is a viral personal AI assistant that actually does things. This is the part where it's it gives Claude hands or claws. So it can actually go out and do things. It can run on your computer. It can access your email if you want. You might not want that, but it could do that type of thing. Or calendars, or send messages, or check in for flights, or other things like that. And it's built by a guy named Peter Steinberger. He's an Austrian developer that created this as a personal project just in the last few weeks, kind of inspired by Cowork and that type of thing. He was forced to rebrand from ClaudeBot to MoltBot. That's the new name. Maybe not as catchy of a name, but I don't know, lobsters molt. They get rid of their shell, so now they're MoltBot. Everybody's still calling it a ClaudeBot though, but that's after some pressure from Anthropic. Some things happened with this open source repo. It got over 44,000 stars in a very short period of time. In the last few days, everybody's been talking about it. And yeah, it's in sort of short terms, it's giving you access to the frontier LLMs, but in a different way. It's running on your computer, so it can access your files. It can sign in as you. It can do things like that. Now, that's risky, and we can talk more about that. But also, it's powerful. Any tool is a weapon if held the wrong or right way, however you want to look at it. So yeah, this is a new superpower that people are getting access to. So yeah, why is everybody talking about it? I mean, that partially it's because of all of the just coverage and pump and dumpiness of that's surrounding it. It's just the hottest thing that people are talking about right now. But also, there actually is a deeper piece to ClaudeBot that taps into what people think about when they think about assistants. So, 10, 15 years ago, people were promised an assistant that could do all of these things that we just talked about, and it wasn't delivered. So this was Google Assistant, Siri, many of these others. But now they actually see a way for it to happen. And ClaudeBot is reigniting that imagination. And it's probably not going to be ClaudeBot that is the product that makes all of that real and scales to billions in revenue or something like that. But it's reigniting the fire in people that yes, I do want a personal assistant. I do want it to do things on my behalf. And man, it seems like I can just install it on my laptop and just get going. And, in some ways it's kind of true. Yeah, there is the question of how is this ever going to be useful? It's just this open source thing. You install it on your computer. Are people getting value out of it now? I encourage folks to go watch some of those videos. But yeah, there are simple tasks that you can do, just let ClaudeBot run overnight to code word, do research, meaning go out and read articles, go out and find anything that's interesting for you, and then maybe make a digest for you and then show it to you in the beginning of the morning. So maybe you're a content creator, or maybe you are tasked, or you're a marketer or something like that, and you're trying to figure out what are people talking about in the world today. And so the world is hard to keep track of right now, but now you can use ClaudeBot to sort of assemble your own feed. that is coming into you. So it's not, you're not hoping that YouTube gets your feed right. You're not hoping that X gets your feed right for you. You can assemble your own feed with ClaudeBot and have it inject what you care about into your life. It's like Google Alerts on steroids, basically, right? To address the security risk question, yes, there are security risks all over the place, but just think of like a password manager. You take all of your passwords and you put it in one thing with a password. Okay, that also has a risk, right? You have to build up systems of trust that you then figure out where the weak points are and that type of thing. It's messy. There's going to be missteps. There's going to be security risks that show themselves with this type of thing. But then the antidote will be built up. The immune system will be built up. And then, it'll be a year or 2 or 3 from now where we're like, oh yeah, this is just commonplace. It's just obvious. I'm just going to have they probably won't be called ClaudeBot, but something else, my ClaudeBot, go after this and just do it for me. And then we'll see what happens. Why is it even more hypey than Cowork? It's because it's theirs. It's like it's this feeling of like it's mine. I got to take this and install it on my device. And it gives a sense of ownership around it. So when you install it, you sort of train that system to get it to do the things that you want. Now you would say like that's my bot, that's my ClaudeBot. It's doing the things that I want it to do. It's running where I want it to run. And rather than going somewhere else and big mega AI corporation gets all the data, gets all of the interaction, gets all the money from me, etc. No, I get all the value. It's all mine. And that's an extremely important part to this too. So one final thing to talk about here that got people really riled up with ClaudeBot, and that is you interact with it like it's a person. And what I mean by that is you heard about the Telegram integration or like the iMessage. There's also like an iMessage integration or any other chat interface integration. But it's not you going to the ClaudeBot website. It's not you going to ChatGPT. It's not you going to the Claude website. It's you going to Telegram. It's you going to iMessage. It's you going to Slack. And just sending a message as if ClaudeBot were a person and then having it respond to you saying, hey, I'm going to go work on that. And while you're, sleeping tonight or out doing whatever you're doing, I'll, over the next few hours, I will assemble these things and then I'll bring them back and then give you a clear next steps to do. You select from those things on what you want me to do, and then I'll go out and do them. So it's, like having your own employee, basically. And that concept is only really starting to form in people's brains right now and say like, what? This is possible? And I can just run it on my laptop? And the answer to that is, yeah, you can with ClaudeBot. You won't be able to run the latest, greatest, biggest, awesomest models typically. You'll have to actually just call out to Opus or some of these other models. But it also is possible to just have it run only on your machine. You'll just have to use open source models that are probably smaller. But yeah, that tickles people's brains and gets them excited about this. Hey, you've watched this far in the video. Clearly you're curious about AI. I want to know, what am I getting wrong? Just take a moment to respond with your opinions below. Add any links that I might need to help understand your perspective. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks everybody for tuning into the AI show. I'm your host, Scott. And listen, don't you dare like and subscribe. Don't even think about it. Okay? I'll see you next time.